Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, welcome. It's Warriors of Light Astro Tarot. I'm David. We're doing your heart spread read. This is a love, romance, and relationship read. This is for May 2022. And we're using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot deck here. And I want to show you on the bottom of the deck, I think it's relevant, you have the Temperance card. So I got to think that means you could be dealing with the Sag. Otherwise, it means in this relationship, it's kind of being called upon, I think, for both of you, have some patience and kind of, we need to get this relationship to where it flows. I think that's what's going on. Don't worry about this Seven of Swords. We'll get to that. I'm going to pull a clarifier for that, okay? Because you have a relationship here. You have this Ace of Cups. And let me kind of get into it, try to explain, because this is a complicated reading. So if this is your reading, you're coming in with this Page of Cups, wearing your emotions on your sleeve, being emotionally open, emotionally vulnerable, and being someone that's kind of wanting a relationship, wanting love. And it's a very different energy from your person. This is you in and around love and relationships. And where they're at is with this Two of Pentacles. Now, this is not about a decision. The Two of Pentacles, you see, is balancing here. And Pentacles are very serious. This could be a person, maybe they're working two jobs, but they're very much focused on their daily routines, exercising and eating right and getting enough sleep and getting their work done or taking care of the kids. So they're kind of preoccupied. So it's a very different energy, guys, from when you're coming in here with this Page of Cups. You know, you're just wide open, you're giving them your heart, you're available, and they're kind of busy, you know. And so I think that's why when you go over here, this is your energy towards them. How are you actually feeling? Seven of Pentacles. That's issues with reciprocation. So he's looking at his crops and he's thinking, really, did I get enough to, for all the work I did? Was this really a good harvest? So, and now what they're having is the Six of Cups. So right here, Aries, is important. If there was any doubts that they were really into you and were returning what your feelings with your Page of Cups, they really are, because you make them feel warm and yummy on the inside. They may well have told you they think you're a soulmate, but they probably feel like you're a soulmate. It's not always soulmate energy, but it's that kind of energy where you feel just welcomed and warm and connected emotionally, okay? So they're receiving your cup here. And I think that's kind of an answer to your Seven of Pentacles. So now we go to, this is the energy of what is Spirit advised for you, particularly in this relationship with this person. And that's the Virgo card, the Hermit. And what does Spirit advise for your person in this relationship here? And then this is what the Spirit advised for relationship as a whole. And I always say I don't necessarily trust myself, and I don't always trust other people. I never trust the government, but I always trust Spirit. And this is your ace up the sleeve here. You got the Ace of Cups. So Spirit's saying you have a beautiful relationship here. It's a very emotional relationship. So that's why I say don't worry about this Seven of Swords. We will clarify that. And I can kind of see why, too, the Temperance is coming up. Because this kind of relationship, on both of your parts, it requires some patience and kind of allowing it to flow. You see that in Temperance, they're balancing the waters back and forth in the cups. And here you have him balancing his coins here. Just really could speak someone that's kind of having to work a lot, maybe. But here, coming under this Seven of Pentacles, I believe with the Hermit always points their finger at themselves, okay? He or her is pointing the finger at themselves. They're not projecting, they're not pointing at the other person. And so that's saying that maybe kind of go and really make sure that this feeling that you have about not being reciprocated is not something that is old and within yourself, and maybe they're triggering it. And ask yourself, you can answer it, are they really not reciprocating, or are you just kind of being triggered? And then I believe this gets really complex when they have the Nine of Swords here under the Six of Cups. It's kind of the opposite advice here. It's flip-flop. And normally with the Nine of Swords, It's like you got to drop down into your emotions to get out of the Nine of Swords feeling, because it's being stuck in your head and going around in your head. And I think this person kind of needs to get into their head and kind of maybe look at some of the negative things. They could be, I think there's some similar stuff going on deep down with this Nine of Swords. Like, both of you, you're probably more aware of this feeling of not being reciprocated. And maybe they're not quite as aware because it's coming underneath the Six of Cups. They're in a romance phase too and feeling really good. But there's something too with them maybe that they're not dealing with. Where deep down they may be kind of afraid that they're going to end up in this Nine of Swords energy, crying and up all night and this kind of thing. And again, I think that goes to the Temperance. Maybe why, you guys are being asked to kind of try to let this gel and kind of let this flow and take your time with it here, guys. And then this is the Ace of Cups. I mean, in this position, with advice from Spirit relationship as a whole, it's that you really do have this wonderful beginning. So again, if this is your reading, kind of a new relationship, kind of just getting started, maybe just getting off the ground. Maybe you guys are kind of just getting to kind of know each other and feeling each other out, and that kind of energy here, Aries. And so that will explain a lot. So, in here, like this is a Virgo card, yeah, but the Hermit and the Nine of Swords is kind of similar, because I think in both cases, they need to go inside and examine themselves, this person. I mean, they are Sag or not. They could also be an earth sign here with the Two of Pentacles. But I just think this overall energy probably could be your person, and be a nice match with an Aries. So they need to go inside and examine their own feelings. And with the Hermit, again, that's all about going inside and looking at your own issues and your own patterns here, vis-a-vis the Seven of Pentacles energy. Now, when we get to the outcome with the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Swords is facing towards you, the Seven of Pentacles, and that's another reason why I think it has to do maybe with some past shenanigans. Maybe in the past there was lying, cheating, and stealing for you, okay? And there's something, I think it's about this person, how they're a little preoccupied and trying to keep themselves balanced. When I see the Two of Pentacles here too, it can be rough because, often this is a person, I would bet you maybe you kind of engaged, started the relationship, but, it's hard to keep this. Look, they're really having to balance in their Pentacles, so it's hard to keep this energy up. And a lot of times when you're in this energy, it's hard to start a relationship because, you've spent this time with yourself trying to get this energy balanced. And now a relationship comes along and you have to make changes and you have to accommodate another person. It's an entirely different world between being with yourself and having to be with another person. But have no doubt that they have feelings for you, and they will probably love you. I'm going to say it with this, if the words haven't been said, I think they love you and are emotionally feeling very good about you here. You also have, again, this is your ace in the hole here, your Ace of Cups. So I think that's what this kind of more is about, the strategic thinking. It's like really think about what's going on, and see, these are thoughts, too. Always remember with swords, they're thoughts. So it's maybe having to do with past lying, cheating, stealing. I don't think there's lying, cheating, stealing going on in this particular relationship. And then, so let's clarify. So we're clarifying the Seven of Swords with the World card. The last card, Major Arcana. Yeah, what was I saying? This kind of makes sense now. The Two of Pentacles, it kind of like the World. Because my opinion, when you go into a relationship, it's like the world changes things and you move up to a new level. Not that, being in a relationship is better than being single. It's just, it's another world. You're completely changing things. It's a completely different way of being. And I think with this clarifying, this Seven of Swords, it's saying like, yeah, it's scary maybe to both of you. But look, with the outcome being the World, that pretty much says it, guys. So I love that. But let me know what you think. Thank you, guys. I love you.